a crazy week. Well, it's been a crazy 3 weeks. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Week. Well, it's been a crazy 3 weeks. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Week. Well, it's been a crazy 3 weeks. Let's be real about that. I'm getting some background or something there.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. That's what these hangouts are all about. It's either this or Discord, and I don't know. I kind of like hangouts better, but
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Discord.
Viking Bitch is working. Yeah, sorry I had to do it during the week, Viking Bitch. It just that's how it worked out. But we'll get back to Sundays next week or after Christmas. Christmas
Yeah,
week.
I always have to be at work at 2 on Sundays, so I can never do the Sunday hangout.
Well, that's good. Well, I'll try to mix it up once in a while so we can do that. I got to make the poll too, for the Doctor Who Christmas special.
I go Christmas Day.
If anybody can make it, I know it's Christmas Day and it'll be probably rough for a lot of people to make, but I usually don't do it. Christmas Day is like we don't visit family or anything, and we just kind of sit at home and watch TV all day anyway. So, poll settings. There we go. Yeah. So I'll post this up later. Yeah. Okay. So this is weird. So since the channel's been growing, all of a sudden, like I'm getting emails from people, like a lot of inside information just out of nowhere. I'm like, I work at the BBC and blah blah blah. And I've gotten like 5 of these already. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I got to verify. I mean, it could be just somebody, with an axe to grind or something like that. So yeah. What I can say is what all 5 people said was the BBC is like a miserable place to work. So it sounds like an axe grinding thing. And some of our wild speculation is kind of on point. So again, I have to verify some of this stuff before I make videos or anything crazy like that. But yeah. So how are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Hey, Gary, did you decide not to switch the channel names?
I'm going to. What happened was I'm a little superstitious. So like, okay, for example, when I was a big Charger fan, like if I wore a certain shirt to a game that they won, I'd have to wear that shirt every game that I went to. It makes no sense, but I'm a weirdly superstitious person. So I was about to change it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like we're doing really good on the algorithm right now, and any change could fuck that up, although it probably is not true at all. So I'm going to wait till the 1st. I'm going to do it on the 1st, but it's going to just go to Nerdrotic, which is I always kind of wanted to do, and I just never did. So that will be done. But yeah, sorry. I said it on a live stream that I was just about to do it, and I'm like, and then I asked a couple of YouTubers, and they're all, no, don't do it right now. And I'm like, yeah, I better not. So, but we will be changing the name. But yeah. Let's go around the horn. Penn, are you here? I see Penn is, maybe she's just listening at work. Oh, she typed something. Fanobi was on the YouTube link, and he's working also. Cool. Okay. Is everybody working?
I'm off today.
Yeah, she's
I'm
just
off
listening.
today too.
Good. Oh my God, Dakota Stanton is not working today. Wow, great. That's amazing.
Tuesday's the only day I don't work because I have a D&D campaign at night. So I work around that.
That's awesome.
No, really?
That nerd. Did you ever watch any of John's D&D's TPK games thing?
No.
I can't sit through them, man. I can't. I tried to support him, but I can't watch people play D&D. It's not that exciting to me. I don't know.
I watched the Vin Diesel one. That was pretty funny.
Oh,
They're making another one.
That would be Vin Diesel playing D&D?
Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 videos of him on I think it's not Nerdist, but it's one of the other weird channels or whatever. It was pretty interesting.
That I'd watch. Do they do the voices and everything?
I think I got through like 30 minutes. I couldn't tell you.
That's a long time, man. I mean, I couldn't get through 30 seconds of John stuff. Well, nobody was talking. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And plus, I don't know D&D, so I should, but I don't. I don't. Yeah. Right. I was looking for some news. There's a bunch of comic book news that's really probably boring to people. You guys heard of a comic called Border Town? That's a Vertigo title, and the artist got Me Too'd pretty bad. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, he beat his girlfriend like a few years back, and he was one of those guys who was, all out for the women and everything. And as it turns out, quite a bit, the ones who are the most vocal male, I don't want to use feminist, just guys who are overly vocal about that tend to be the kind of guys who beat up their girlfriends and pieces of shit like that.
It's kind of a thing. Yeah.
It is. It really is. And his book was awful. Oh, it was so bad. And it was a book. Actually, Englentine said it best. He said it was a book made in hate. And I think that's kind of, I want to roll with that, because a lot of the comic books right now are made with such anger and hate towards politics or just superheroes or other people. And it's under the guise of being inclusive and everything, but there's just nothing but hate in these things. And there used to be love in comics. There used to be just like John Byrne, however you thought about the guy, fucking loves comics. Like, he is a total nerd. Not every comic writer like gives a shit about comics or reads comics. John Byrne collects comics, reads comics, reads modern day comics. He's a total freaking geek. He knows everything about everything geek. He loves comics to this day. He loves drawing Superman. It's not gotten old for him in almost 50 years, 40 years. So it's not happening now. That's part of the problem. Comics are really in the tank right now. That's why I'm not in a hurry to open up my pop-up. I'm probably going to delay it because there's just nothing. There's nothing out there. I went to my friend's shop yesterday, and I was looking around. I'm like, where are your new releases? And he had a shelf that's like, I'm not kidding, was this wide. It was this wide and about this tall. So it had about 20 comics on it. 20. And he just said his foot traffic is dead. His merchandising and gaming stuff is all that supports him. And it's really dire. It's really sad to see.
The shop near me just is they became more of a gaming shop than comics, and then they brought in all the toys, and now they're a toy store. They've got a whole Pops counter. They've just done a whole bunch of stuff, and then they have like a month and a half long sale at Christmas time, which is buy two get one free for anything in the same category.
Wow, that's
for
fucking
games
great.
or Magic cards and comics and stuff. And they just have so much stuff. It's like, this is the place to go for toys and games and comics. So they do pretty well, I think.
That's what I want to do. So my thing is, I'll probably I am, for lack of a better term, toying around with the idea of not selling new comics at all, and just and I might be able to pull that off because the channel's doing much better now. I don't like. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not expecting the channel to grow at this rate forever. But it's doing very well. So that kind of changes things a little bit. So it frees me up to kind of do what I want with the pop-up shop. Problem is, if I opened up the shop now, I'd have to like walk away from the channel for a couple of weeks, which I'm not ready to do. So I don't mind waiting and just missing the holiday season. It's practically over anyway. So if I push it back to April, that will give me more time to think about things and see what happens. Plus Diamond and I have been going back and forth, and yeah, that hasn't been fun.
How did Diamond get such control? Like, I don't get it.
They bought their way into it. There was multiple distributors back in the early 90s. There was one called Capital, and it used to be great. They used to have little hubs, and then the comic shop owners would go to the hubs and they'd hang out for hours and talk. It'd be like a bar. And then you just pick your comics and then leave. And Diamond bought everybody out. And at first it was good. I mean, at first they were really, really good. And then they just got really complacent because they have no competition whatsoever. And yeah, they don't change anything. They have full control, and it's weird to explain. It saved the comic industry, but it's also all it did. It put it on hospice, life support, for lack of a better term. So it's absolutely, it's like comic socialism. So it's everything's fair. Everybody gets their stuff, but there's no real innovation. There's no build up at all. And that's why it's just been slowly dying, like really slow. And then like it got pushed over the edge with all the politics and shit that's been going on with Marvel. And yeah, there's going to be a point. There's a threshold. I've talked about this, that where if there's a certain, it takes a certain amount of comic stores to support Diamond. And we're getting really close to the part where they will not be able to support Diamond anymore. Diamond is in money, is money trouble. I know that I heard that from a good source, and I'm like, that's not good. But maybe somebody else will pick it up, or eventually, and I think Disney will be the first to do this, because they actually talked about doing this when they first bought Marvel, about self-distributing. And I think with Indiegogo's success, believe it or not, like I think Ethan Van Sciver and Diversity in Comics have gotten the ears and eyes of certain people there, and they see that, wow, you can just make your own shit and distribute your own shit. Why don't we do that? Now, before it wasn't cost effective, but if the numbers go down to where a good selling comic is 20,000, well, they certainly can do that themselves. So it's going to be weird. There'll always be comic stores, but it's probably just going to go back to what it used to be, is they won't sell new stuff. They'll just sell old stuff like I want to do. So
I had heard that Diamond has been in trouble for quite a while, actually.
Yeah. They basically, their owner is rich. And that's not unlike what I was doing at my comic store when the recession hit. I mean, the comic store was basically a very expensive hobby for me. I think I made, in 2008, I made $10,000 at the comic store, like for the entire year. So that's less than $1,000 a month. As related to, like, in 2010, I made a lot of money. It was a big difference. So I was at my friend's shop last night, and I'm sitting there reading some of the books, and they're just like, and I'm like, God, this is just terrible. I know. And poor guy, he's such a nice guy. His name is Frank. He owns a shop called Amazing Fantasy here in San Francisco. He was the last guy in San Francisco to host Stan Lee. He had Stan Lee come up about a year and a half ago. Right before he really started going downhill. And it's sad. I've been working on this for years, and the last couple months have been just a really real eye-opening experience. But nobody's willing to. I really wanted to buy somebody's comic store. I was hoping to get one on the cheap, like somebody who's about to close theirs, but they just won't sell it to me on the cheap. They'd rather close. So okay. But another person who contacted me, guys, is I just got off Messenger, so I was kind of late. Is Alec Peters? I don't know if you've heard of Alec Peters. He created Axanar, and I just talked to the Axanar guy for about a half an hour, and maybe we're gonna get him on the channel. And apparently, we have a mutual friend that I didn't know, so he friended me on Facebook, and then we started talking, and he's a totally cool dude.
You should have him on for the review of the first episode of the new season of STD. That is a great idea. That would be awesome. I wonder if he'll do it.
I don't know if he wants to talk shit about STD though.
Yeah, that might put him in a tenuous place with still doing Axanar.
Yeah, he did talk a little shit about it to me personally though. So, yeah.
Looking good, Gary.
What's up, dude? I was thinking about I wanted to kind of rotate co-hosts. I wanted to rotate but now everybody wants to do it on their own channel now. So like Doomcock's going to be going live after Star Trek, and I think Midnight's Edge probably will, and Anti-Trekker is. So I was planning on having them come on our channel. We could just rotate and have them on. But I still could probably do that with some guys. I've been talking to Lore from Lore Reloaded. He wants to do something. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see.
This is funny, Gary. I just got an instant message from you.
You did?
Yeah. I sent you one back on the 6th of December talking about your hit 12K, and then I get a response just now. It was like, thank you. I'm over 15K. I'm like thinking, yeah, no shit. I know that. I saw it yesterday. I was calling that shit yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I was like the last one to find out. I was in a meeting. I knew it was close, but listen, I don't want to assume we're going to hit anything. I'm just like kind of not looking at it now because I don't want to get too.
They're having a little fun competition on who's going to call it first.
That's funny as hell. That's awesome. You guys are rad. It's been
I want to show you something, Gary, real quick. You were talking about gaming, right? Not too long ago.
Yep.
So there's an RPG store, and I was a big RPG fan back in the 90s. That's what kept my friends and I out of freaking trouble and doing stupid shit. So I was driving by getting some vape juice, and I saw this place. I'm like, it said Dragon's Gaming Store, and I was like, is that what I think it is? I go in, sure enough, card RPG store. They got stuff. So I'm looking around, looking at anything I recognize. I wasn't a big D&D guy. We played different games, and literally, I saw this thing for Star Wars, and I was like, okay. Then I realized what it was. They reprinted old West End Games source book.
That's brilliant.
This was my game. This is what I used to game master for my friends. This was my game. Like an idiot back in early 2000s, I sold all that shit. And West End Games lost their license. Shit went out of print. You can't find it unless I go pay shit tons of money at eBay. So when I saw that, I spent about a 50-plus minute time just geek ranting with these guys. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was so excited.
Brilliant. You know, Comics Division's like really big into that. Like he used to be I don't know who's the guy, whoever runs the fucking game. The West End Games. He wouldn't stop talking about that shit. You guys should talk about that. And he's a big old nerd on that. No, I remember those. Those were cool. It's about time they started reprinting that shit.
I used to have them all. I used to have a ton of them.
Got mine.
And then oh, you still got yours?
Oh.
Yeah. The Jedi source book and the original West End Games.
Oh. The Jedi. I never got that one.
That is brilliant.
I loved that game. I had so much fun. My wife has actually talked about saying she's willing to play it and have the kids try and get into it. And then she asked me this question. She's like, can I be an Ewok? I said, yeah. Like someone's like, can I be a droid? I'm like, yes. I'm like, this isn't like your computer games where you're limited on the program has. This is limited to what, your imagination and the GM will let you do.
That's brilliant. That's why they're fun.
I love that song. DM says you're going to die. Roll a D6.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys ever play like Fading Suns? Ever hear that one?
I played White Wolf's Vampire the Masquerade. I played Palladium's Rifts, Heroes Unlimited, and their Palladium, which was kind of like a D&D similar thing, and a little bit of Cyberpunk, I think was what it was called. But no, I never played that game you're talking about.
The guy who wrote and created most of the White Wolf universe, Bill Bridges, branched off and made his own company called Holistic Design and created Fading Suns, which was a futuristic dystopian role-playing game where you could basically play anything from medieval to lords or whatever. It was really diverse and it was really kind of cool.
That's awesome. What's it called again?
Fading Suns.
I have to look it up.
And they had a miniatures game that came out later for Spaceship Combat, which was pretty cool. I have all the original source books for that. And I was a huge White Wolf fan. I loved all those games.
Yeah, I loved White Wolf. We played. We focused on Vampire the Masquerade or Vampire Dark Ages, but I had some very. That was where I really challenged myself to play characters that were outside my comfort zone.
Yeah, we always played Werewolf. That was our deal.
Got my ass handed to me by a couple of lupi.
I know nothing about role playing.
It fit my Metallica and Rage teenage years.
They do Kindred of the Kindred of the East. That was when we tried to play, and we were like, man, this is so weird.
Oh, it was totally different than Vampire. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So did everybody watch the Titans trailer for the finale episode?
Yep.
Man, I'm like, what the heck is that?
It was bad.
I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Well, it's. I mean, we all know it's a vision in his head. So this is like what could happen.
Well, I think it's also Trigun is changing the universe, but he's already complained all season about how bad Bruce has been. So.
Yes. But we don't know why. I mean, like, they insinuated when they first started the show that Batman was going to be a murderer, but I think they changed it. I think they came correct on that one. So I think it's just going to be he thinks he's going to be a murderer, which makes no sense.
Are they kind of portraying him somewhat in the talking as more of a all-star Batman and Robin kind of Batman?
Because why would you want to make your regular universe Batman? Because you're DC.
Right.
Fucking stupid. I was just looking at, we have like we have these huge waves that I'm not that far from the beach. I'm about 2 miles from the beach, and the last couple of days the waves have been like 20 feet, 40 feet. They've been insane. Yeah, they've been insane. All the surfers are going down the Half Moon Bay, or not Half Moon Bay, up fucking Santa Cruz or whatever. Idiots. They're gonna get killed. So yeah, the tight. I was not. It was cool to see Batman, but that's what we're ever gonna see. We're gonna see the so they are promoting this as Robin versus Batman, and then we're gonna see we're never gonna see Batman,
right?
Unless they're gonna straight up show his face, which that would be great, but. I don't know. I want to like that show so much. I just,
you know what I've noticed? For some reason, portraying Batman is really hard now for some reason, and they're always trying to portray him as like the Elseworlds Thomas Wayne Batman, where he's really grew up and wants to kill everybody. Why?
No, it's because you can't have a white male superhero that's worth anything without serious flaws anymore.
I'm kind of starting to believe that now. I thought they were just trying to like do. Listen, the whole Time's Up thing. Like, if it was just we're going to integrate more females in, put more females in charge, but we're still going to keep things, kind of even and try to make it a natural thing, or even if they just made the effort of we'll do half of our stuff is going to be, and I don't watch everything, so it could be half. But everything I watch, it's not half. It's everything. It's fucking everything. The only thing that hasn't been touched, and that's because they were filmed a year ago, was Legion. Like, I'm starting to see ghosts of it now, so I got to catch myself. Like, I'm starting to see it in Counterpart. I'm like, oh fuck, no, don't fucking Westworld season 2 me on Counterpart. But hopefully I'm wrong on that one. It's too soon to tell.
So Gary, I've been trying to get you to answer this question on the chat, but you keep missing it. So you've been really, really critical of Westworld season 2. So my question is that season 2 on the level of bad like Heroes season 2?
Yeah.
Or is it worse? Yes.
Oh, it's worse.
Oh god,
it's fucking worse. I mean, Heroes season 2 was bad, but at least it had Chris Eccleston. There was a couple of things in it that I enjoyed. and
I
it
think-
wasn't their fault. There was a writer's strike going on.
I remember,
you
yeah.
know, and like that's
Still a bad
Westworld
season.
season 2, they lied to us. They had a 5-year plan, right? But they said they were fixing the 5-year plan, and we just assume, oh, they decided they saw the success of season 1 and they're going to build on that. But they did the exact opposite. They rewrote the entire fucking story to and Lisa Joy said this. She came out and said it to be more in line with the Time's Up situation.
Oh,
And time's up means time's up. It doesn't mean like it's time for women to get the proper respect that they deserve, which they absolutely have not been getting in Hollywood. They've been treated like fucking shit in Hollywood. But there's also other sides to the story here. Okay, that there's also people. There's victimization and then there's willingness. There's two different things. Okay, and there's plenty of victimization going on in Hollywood. I've witnessed it myself. Hollywood's just a nasty fucking place. So they're overcorrecting right now, which sure, fine, whatever. But what they did in Westworld season 2 is you took a show that was about something and made it about something else in season 2. In season 2, you just took the Man in Black, which was a very complex character, and you just turned him into, I don't even know what you turned him into. I don't even care. By the end of it, I didn't care. I was like, this is dumb. Maeve constantly just saying darling and waving her hands and being a god. I mean, that's just, again, it totally betrays everything they built her up.
Yeah.
You know, and the worst was Evan Rachel Wood's character, Dolores.
Yep.
A really interesting character that I fully expected to be the villain in like season 3 or 4. And they pushed ahead her character to just make her so they could make her stronger, look more powerful on screen. They totally forgot the fact that they needed to build her up to that. They literally flipped the switch on her, and it doesn't work. So there's the Bechdel test thing that's out there, and that's pretty much your guideline for everything Hollywood now. And the Bechdel test is, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's
women speaking to each other without talking about a man.
Without talking about a man or something like that. And okay, I can understand that in certain situations, but imagine what life would be if we had the Bechdel test. The other way around too, like two men talking to each other without talking about a girl. Now, how often does that really happen in real life? I mean, I don't even think about it that much, but the fact that you're thinking about it, you're restricting writing, you're restricting creativity, and it's showing right now, and everything comes off like fan fiction. So
I also think it's worse than Hero. I also think it's worse than Hero season 2 because it fell farther.
It did.
Wow. I didn't think that was possible.
Well, Westworld season 1 was better than Hero season 1. Hero season 1 was good.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Westworld season 1 was like one of the best first seasons I've ever seen of any television show ever, with the single best pilot I've ever seen of any. If I even said it at the time, I'm like, we could end it actually right here at season 1, and it would be beautiful. That would be a fully told story, and you would just have to be left to your imagination what happened next. And honestly, that's where I would have preferred it. But they absolutely changed it. Actually, Jonathan Nolan took a back seat, so he let Lisa Joy take over the show. And while they write well together, it was a situation where it was. I hate to say this out loud, but Jonathan Nolan was doing most of the writing for season 1, and Lisa Joy was there. He let her be a co-writer and stuff, but she is nowhere near the talent that he is. She's good, but she's not. I mean, Jonathan Nolan is upper level fucking good, to the point where it makes you really rethink. The DC universe lost Christopher Nolan because they wouldn't let. He wanted his brother to make Superman, not Zack Snyder. He wanted Jonathan Nolan to make Superman. Could you imagine if that would have probably turned out pretty good? Just thinking, but
I didn't like Man of Steel at all.
Nope.
No, that was terrible.
So,
I don't know what I hated worse, Henry Cavill as that, or Kevin Costner as that.
Kevin Costner ruined it. He ruined.
Oh, it was that was the worst excuse of a Jonathan Kent portrayal I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah, just let the kids die. Let the kids die in the bus. Yeah, because Jonathan Kent would say that. But that's the nihilism, postmodernism crap that's being injected in our. And that's when I talk about we're at third, fourth, fifth generation writer now, with people who are just so disconnected from like folks who actually work for a living, or like you guys, and they're just completely out of touch. Like they have no idea what their viewers and their customers think, nor do they care to find out. And that what happens when we have a disconnect like that is the correction will be independent work. We're going to get more independent work because that's why people are already tuning out in the millions and coming to YouTube they'd rather watch a live stream than half these shows now. I mean, like, and then Sabrina gets picked up today for seasons 3 and 4. And I watched it, I gave it a good go. It's pretty awful, but I understand it's not for me either. I mean, it's just not a show for me. But it's got just as much politics, if not more, than Doctor Who did. I mean,
so Gary, I'm about 2 hours into your guys' last Exozone. How you guys pulled that thing off that late, but man, it's been fun to listen to. I was gonna try and listen to more of it today. I just got caught up in other things. I couldn't do it. I had to go to my kids' school and everything. So I'll catch it up later.
It's 6 hours long. Yeah, we got because I can't do that on my channel. I even brought that up. I was like, let's try to keep it to 2 to 3 hours. But that's awesome. No, I don't know how he does it. He could go for 8 hours easy. I start to poop out at like 3, but I was so fired up by that show. It's just fun talking about that stuff. And then I'm glad that we're over the barrier of being Doomcock was rightfully concerned. He's like, man, because that's why we were both hesitant. We're like, this could piss a lot of people off, and not that we're overly concerned with that, but I mean, it could piss off everybody. A lot of people don't like that stuff at all. And I understand that, but I think we're less worried about it now. It was nice. Thanks for listening. The positive response helps a lot. Absolutely. Tell Doomcock you love it. He needs to hear that more than I do. What's up?
I don't got much time because I got AT&T coming over, but my worry for The Expanse is now that it has a bunch more news coverage and money, we're gonna see a lot more politics getting into it, and not in the good like Earth versus Mars politics, but like actual politics. And that's my biggest fear for this season is that they're just gonna cave.
Being over at Amazon, having more money, being a little more emboldened about it. Yeah. It's a worry. It was a worry with Counterpart. It's a worry with The Expanse. You know what? I'm not worried about it with Legion. That's like the only thing I'm not worried about. And yeah, because there's a lot of opportunity for allegory, right? So they can use the allegory quite a bit. All
right, I gotta go.
Hey, take it easy, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah, that's it. That's concerning. That's interesting. We'll see what happens on that one. I hope not.
Especially how politically charged the authors are on Twitter. It's also concerning.
Yeah, I don't. I muted them a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
I could not watch. I don't know if they run their own Twitter or not. It seems like they don't. Because one of the exchanges I had felt very adolescent, like very young.
I'm just getting into Twitter myself, so I'm being very, very selective about how I mess.
Yeah, just be careful. I'm getting killed right now. I'm getting killed. I've got so many people pissed at me. I got a lot of people pissed at me. There's some Doctor Who fans that are coming after me. It's okay. I've fully expected it. The best thing to do is just ghost the hell out of them. That's what I do. I was like, I got time for this. Fucking call me whatever you want.
Did you do a review on that Esquire thing?
Actually, the video that just came out was about 10 minutes longer. and maybe I'll put it up on the Patreon. Though I cut out 10 minutes of it because what I did is I compared Lucy Jones's article to his article to one particular paragraph in there that I found very concerning. That the both of them were trying to attribute my views on Jodie Whittaker and my views and everybody else's views who's against it on the show and Jodie Whittaker to a right-wing conspiracy. Which
and I remember when I heard that, and I'm like, I got into the whole geek thing. It's one of the things I love about listening to you or Random or any of these guys. I mean, I can kind of maybe inflect maybe what your political views are. I've never made a secret what mine are. We are never funny for all of us having different political views. We all seem to kind of be in the same mindset. Okay, we're calling bullshit where bullshit is. I want to blame it all on one side or something. It's like, no. This is unprecedented to me. When I got shit for being a prequel fan, that was I put up there. I said, the shit I got from the 90s and 2000s and stuff for being a prequel fan and being a defender, for the fact that I've said I don't like the sequels. I didn't like The Force Awakens. Originally, I did like The Last Jedi. I think that was, but after reflection and having a year, I said because I really had a low opinion of the Force Awakens, and I agree with all the flaws and issues with it except for the Holdo thing. That's the only thing. And that's probably because I've been in the military for 20 years. That's the one area I'm like, sorry guys, he does not have to tell him shit. And I've always been, but it's just like, oh, well, you hated it. This is why you hated it. No, we told you why you hate it. You could look, it's like, we don't like this because of this. And it's like, oh, well, you just don't get, I was like, damn, man, I've never seen this where they attack the fans just for having an opinion saying, sorry, we didn't like it.
It's the disconnect. By the way, yeah, calling me that is pretty ridiculous. So politically, I'm a what's it called? A political atheist. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. There's this thing I learned in recovery that I cannot get upset over things I have absolutely no power over anymore. I just don't do it anymore. I just don't so I vote in local elections. I'm very into my local elections, which are insane here, by the way. Just don't even try to wrap your brain around them. It's very hard. But yeah, I don't care. And I've had a very happy life. I don't watch news anymore. But I have this dumb belief that whether I voted for a president or did not vote for a president, that like, I don't want my country to do bad. So I'm not going to try to do anything to circumvent my country from doing good. And I think it's just become so divided now that when a president gets in there, it's just half the people are going to hate that person and half the people are going to like the person. And that's the way it's going to be from now on. And it'll just be this constant fucking fight. And it's like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't care.
I don't mind fighting. You guys fight. Yeah. I don't mind fighting it, but I fight it on my political side. I don't want it to be in our geek stuff. And now it's showing up in our geek culture. So in our faces, it's just like, come on, guys, and everybody says the same thing. You're watching this shit to escape from this stuff. Why are you shoving it in our faces? I understand. I mean, what was it? Battlestar Galactica did really well with its political issues, but you didn't relate it to what was going on. Those political issues were internal. They actually had weight and depth and understanding. You could see why they were going that route.
And Expanse is the same. I think Expanse carries on the Battlestar Galactica tradition. That's probably why I like the show so damn much. But again, it's a big what if, and it handles it really intelligently. And it's sometimes writers can write above themselves, and I think that's kind of what Ty Frank and maybe they take the time to actually, because in the books where they're free to be overly political, I don't feel like they are. I'm sensitive to that shit, and I've read all the books, and I've never gotten that vibe from them. So
they've always been very balanced in their approach with the presentation of any of the sides, and that's what I really enjoyed about the series, the book series, and the TV series for the most part. They try to balance it out, so they present all the sides so you can make your own decision.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm on the same. I'm almost in the same boat with you, Gary. I've got on the last book. I'm going to be reading probably another 60 pages tonight while my son's at gymnastics. I just sit in my truck and I start reading. But when you read the books and then you look at the series, you can inflect that. Okay, I see why Earthers. Okay, this is the Earthers' perspective. This is the Martian perspective. This is the Belters' perspective. And it's kind of like you kind of can see, okay, I can kind of get everybody's point of view, but they're never going out there and saying this side's right, this side's wrong. They're kind of leaving it up to you to kind of take what you want from it and decide, even give you the chance to say, okay, you know what, I see some rights here, some wrongs here on all three sides of it. And it's so well done. And well, freaking Amos and Avasarana are just still my favorite characters.
Yeah. I love her. I do.
Hey,
I really do.
How excited are you guys about the new Orville season? Because I'm I'm like really excited.
Freaking jacked. Like this is I honestly I think this might be the premiere I'm most looking forward to. I've been counting the days, like literally. I've been counting the days going, I can't wait. That's
I'm
another
terrified.
show. Are you worried? I heard what Doomcock said, and I was at the panel, and I don't think we need to worry about that too much. I think Seth MacFarlane's going to be Seth MacFarlane, and
Right.
yes, I do think he tricked Fox into making his own sci-fi show.
Absolutely.
So I think he good for him.
Hey, Gary, this is my son here, AJ. He'd like to say hi.
What's up?
Hello.
This is my little daughter here. This is Charlene.
Hey, how you
Hey.
doing?
These are the ones you always hear in the background when we do these.
Oh, those kids. What's up, kids? You got a good pop there. How you doing? Good.
Still at work.
Yeah, but he knows mommy's home. Trust me, he's heard me talk about that a lot.
Somebody's got to work. Good for mom.
Hey, I'm
Mom's
working my
cool.
butt off as a house husband.
There you go. That's work. Cute kids. I remember when their mine were that young. God, they grow up so enjoy it, please. DJ D Show, what's up? I was listening to you this morning, dude.
Oh man,
When you lost your car.
yeah, that was fun. Fun times had by all.
That
No,
game
more
is brutal.
Yes, it is. It
Jesus
can be.
Christ.
Well, this version, yeah, they've tuned it over time to the point where they want you online now. Because it used to go 1 to 2 stars, now it goes 1 to 3 stars like in 2 seconds. So yeah, lots of fun. More fun on Tumblr, at least on one of my blogs. It's just pretty much primarily bikinis, or it's porn blog. Whatever. In any case, on that one, they didn't delete.
Is it still
anything.
around?
They did. Yeah, it still exists. They didn't delete anything.
Ah,
Well,
good.
they deleted the picture. No, they did delete something. That they deleted the picture of Kat Denning dancing in this is from the CBS show, right? So that got deleted, and then the picture of a model from Sherlock. So that got deleted. None of the tits and that. It's not that bad. It's just tasteful dudes, right?
Yeah.
But none of that got deleted. That is still there. And then stuff that I thought would be censored, right, is not censored. So their own algorithm robot is completely broken, and it's hilarious.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, and then people are, today, obviously you just give the finger to Tumblr, are posting nudes like there's no tomorrow, and the robot is not blocking that. But if you show a nude, well, not a nude, but if you showed like someone covering up a breast with their hand, that does get censored.
Oh my god, that's funny.
So someone is they're showing the examples to the Tumblr staff, and the Tumblr staff says, "Yeah, we're working on it. We don't know what's going on."
And in the meantime, all you guys are, while they're figuring out their own algorithm, the people at Tumblr will figure out their algorithm first, and they'll just figure out ways around it. Like the million ways there's around the YouTube algorithm for music and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So
That's funny.
it doesn't matter. A lot of people moved off. I know I'm probably going to close down that website. And that's pretty much it. It was pretty much the community. That's why. It's no other reason, really. It's just, the perverted Sherlock, Harry Potter people just hanging out. That's all it was.
Is it going to hurt Tumblr, you think?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah?
think this is effectively going to kill Tumblr. A lot of people have already moved on to Twitter since there's more out there on Instagram.
dude.
Instagram is so much way worse than
Yeah, I was saying, are you kidding me? Have you been on Instagram? That's why I was kind of like, oh, Instagram.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
So,
we're gonna. But Twitter, no, I had something pop up on my Twitter.
yeah, be careful when
2 days
searching.
ago.
I know a lot of people moved to Twitter.
It was on my timeline, and we're just gonna say there was a sexual act going on. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And
Yes,
like,
you expect a lot of that happening on your timeline now because a massive amount of the community moved to Twitter and Instagram initially because they don't know where else to go for now. The normies, as it were.
the normies.
I'm not going to go through the trouble. But if I post anything that's whatever tasteful stuff, it's probably going to be on minds.com. I went where Medicare went. So
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because that's a decentralized social network, so they can't take it down even if they want to.
I still got to look into the whole Sargon thing and why he got kicked off of Patreon, and
Yeah, I'm not leaving
not-
Patreon.
I'm not leaving Patreon.
Yeah, I'm not leaving Patreon. I already told my subs, no, thank you very much. But if one of you guys are upset, want to pay me in PayPal, that's fine, or Streamlabs or whatever. But yeah, I just don't see the reason. And not only that, I looked at the alternatives. Subscribestar is risky to iffy. I don't know. I don't know if I trust them. And then the other one is just too small. I think it's Ratifier.com or something like that. And it's completely free. So any money you happen to get, you definitely get it. But it's so tiny, and it's only like 2 years old.
Yeah,
that, I mean,
and
so
the minute it grows,
those are options. Yeah.
And it's probably full of holes and easy to hack. And yeah, no way. It's like buying a car that just came out that first year. You just
Yeah,
don't wanna do
exactly.
it.
I don't mind giving my PayPal to, like, say, Subscribestar, maybe once they work out the kinks over the coming months. But I'm going to wait till next year to do that, probably.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon.
No,
And
I
that's
love
the more established one that Sargon went to.
Yeah, I like Patreon. I mean, like, I don't live by Sargon. I mean, I like, he's okay, but.
Well, yeah, it wasn't just Sargon. It was a couple other big channels. But
it was, huh?
still, yeah, it was him. I'm sure Killstream will get on there at some point.
Well,
I'm sure Medicare. Let me see who else. I forgot. I think this is probably rumor that PewDiePie went there just to prove a point. But it'll be interesting if he does do that. But I got to stay on that rumor news to see if that's true that he's going there. Possibly Keemstar also.
Here's what I don't understand. When you hit a certain level, when you hit even an Ethan Van Sciver level or World Class Bullshitters, why are you on Patreon at all? Like, why bother? I would just fire up a website, put a PayPal on it, because if you're over 50,000 subs, you're going to get enough support to where if you just fire up your own website, get a WordPress that's going to cost you what, $14 a month.
Yeah.
Put a PayPal on it, and then you don't have to. I mean, you have to share the money with PayPal, but that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
No middleman, and you can provide all. As far as secret content, you can do that on your own website all day long.
Exactly.
So, PewDiePie, that guy's. Listen, I know a guy. I'm not going to name his name, but
yeah,
I know a podcaster and a YouTuber. He's a mutual friend. Yeah, I got a mutual friend. He makes $30,000 a month. A fucking month off iTunes, off his iTunes shit, not even off his YouTube shit. So, like, I could live very comfortably off $30,000 a month. So, Jesus.
Yeah,
I think of it this way: it's like, why not do it? It's not as long as it's not hurting you.
Well, it's a revenue stream,
and you're upfront about it. I mean, no,
it just seems like you're sharing. You're giving up a lot of money you don't need to. But that's just
I get that. Oh yeah, but if again, it's whether or not you actually want to micromanage the website and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm pretty much doing both now. I got the off the side forum, but that's pretty much the team site. And then I got the I'm like, yeah, I don't have time to deal with all this stuff. It's like, yeah, let Patreon do it. WordPress, like I told you, WordPress had suspended me for a while until I told them how many followers I had on Tumblr, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And then, funny enough, the moderator who got back to me said, "Look, this has nothing to do with your how many followers you have. This has everything to do with we thought there was some mature content on there, but sorry, it was a mistake by the robot. But just a warning: mature content is allowed, but not pornography. But we're just mentioning it." It has nothing to do, but your website is completely clean.
Okay.
So, yeah, weird little hints back and forth from WordPress. So, yeah, that was like for a week dealing with that when I moved my Tumblr over there. Well, the one that's in effect monetized on Tumblr. When I moved that one over. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I had to get rid of my get rid of that illegal content I have on my WordPress right now. It just made me think about it.
Yeah. Happy I reminded you.
Let's make sure that's gone. Okay, it's gone. Good. Yeah. I'm gonna be loading up stuff there in the next couple days. So
yeah, I prefer you not leave Patreon myself, Gary, because I'm actually about to review my Patreon subscriptions the new year, and I'm downgrading one. I'm not going to name names, but there's one I'm going to downgrade only because I'm not seeing a lot of stuff. Basically I don't feel I'm getting what I'm paying for.
Well, that's the thing is that you got to get, we're getting our packages together, and I have to revisit all the
But yours is going up. Yours is going up at the new year. I'm downgrading one, and you're
no, it's not about that. I've made no secret that the $15 package thing ends on the 31st. I can't. There's too many people. I can't do that anymore. I was not expecting to get that many people, so we're gonna send out the packages. Everybody who you're going to get grandfathered in. So everybody's at $15 and if you did it a certain amount of time, even if you reduce, you're going to get your second package. That is a promise from me. But we're going to keep the comics. We're going to kind of merge the $5 tier and the $7 tier into something a little more manageable. And then you're still going to get something the 1st January.
Okay. 1st. Well, that's when I was looking at changing my stuff anyway. So I was holding off until then anyway.
And you guys will still get something. Don't worry. But it's just it's getting too much. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be that.
Darn, and I just upgraded too.
Oh, you get it. If you upgrade on
I upgraded
11/59 on the 31st, you're gonna get it.
The previous month I upgraded, but yeah, I'll upgrade again so I can get that final package.
Oh, you're good. You'll get it. You'll get it.
Cool.
I'm going to the post office today and tomorrow because
I agree with Penn on that one.
What was that?
Penn wrote in the chat, Gary underestimated his charm. I would have to agree.
Exactly. Easily, the glasses and the beard, underestimated.
Shit.
Well, hey, haven't you noticed I'm trying to mimic him now?
There you go.
I already had the glasses. I've got the beard going now.
The beard. This is like a year. I've cut this one off. It would actually be down here if I trimmed it a little bit.
So Gary, real quick, am I correct in numbers here that since like November to now you've almost gotten pretty close to doubling in YouTube subscriptions?
Yeah. That's so we have past doubled. We have gone past doubling, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, we on November. It was
actually never mind. The $15 box is completely sold out, so never mind.
Oh, just send me an email, dude.
All right, cool.
Just send me an email.
Because I know when I stopped. I know when I took my 2 weeks off in the end of November.
Yeah, if anybody who is watching this, who is a current patron, wants to upgrade, and if it's sold out, just send me a DM, and we'll grandfather you in by the 31st. Now I've already set up all the packages to go out before Christmas. That you would be getting your stuff in January, but you'll still, if you want it and it's not letting you, I can change that. So, but on the 31st, it's done. It's over. I gotta stop it.
I'm gonna upgrade.
So on the 18th of November, we were at 6,300. That was the day before Stan Lee died, right? Stan Lee died on the 19th. Something changed when we did that Stan Lee thing. And like we had all those people watching, and after that something, and then of course, I did the Doctor Who stuff, but we were like, the subscribers started going up then. They actually started going up before Doctor Who at a record pace. We were always gaining in subs, but it was always like 10, 20 a day, which is great.
Yeah. Now you're getting
about that. Now we're getting 100, 200. Yeah. It's,
well, it's like sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, I feel like I'm playing volleyball now. I'm just trying to keep the ball in the air.
Yeah. Well, no, it was interesting. Like I said, I was really surprised and amazed at the progress you've had, because when my wife got back, I took the 2 weeks off, and then you were at like maybe 6 or something. And then I come back and you're like over 10. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. I said the same thing. It was a bit crazy. There's just been a lot of stuff going on.
What headphones I use?
Yes, a lot of the background. Meeting of new people, all that fun stuff for Gary.
Yes.
Mind you, that other person that he may have met, he's been busy too. So it's been a crazy couple of months.
Yes. Yes. Well, yeah. So, yeah, talking to other YouTubers who I've never talked to before, which is good. The creator of, I just said the creator of Axanar messaged me today, and we had a little chat, and I don't know what's going to come of that, but it was just nice to talk to him. And I told him, you know, I fanboyed out a little bit. I'm like, your shit's awesome, dude. Yeah. You know, yeah. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting. But to address the elephant in the room about Dennis. Dennis is gone. Dennis is gone. Dennis has been gone for 2 weeks. It's not anything I'm going to announce on the channel. I don't feel the need to do that. We will this will probably make some people laugh. We'll call it creative differences.
Oh God.
I love that answer.
Wow. You're
We'll
going
call
with
it
that one,
creative
huh?
differences. Yes. It's
I'm
the
pretty sure
same.
it had to do with Doctor Who that caused it all.
Yeah.
It's a Doctor.
It's
I'm joking.
no, it actually
You know
did.
me. I'm always joking.
It's if you guys were around when John Reed left, John Reed was one of the people who helped start this up. I mean, let's first and foremost, I don't want to sell myself short. I do all of the work. I do the website. The only thing Dennis did was the Facebook page, which was just posting, which is great. Believe me, it's an extra thing I didn't need to do. That I was thankful that I didn't have to do it, but I'm gonna have to do it now, and that's fine. It's not that much trouble. But as far as like paying for websites and editing and thumbnails and promotion and digging up people and getting in other YouTube communities, making friends, spending a ton of time on YouTube, and I don't go to YouTube channels to bring people to my channel. I go them because I like them and I just hang out. I'm a fan of YouTube.
Yeah, it's
like,
true. It's kind of scary too. Gary's a giant nerd.
Yeah,
He's
like,
really what he appears to be. It's kind of frightening.
I go into anti-trekker. I never miss an anti-trekker live stream. I fucking love them. So and it's because I like him. I'm not trying to get his fans over to my channel. That's not my intention. And that's why mostly I'm quiet in the, like when I'm on the Umbrella Guys streams, I don't ever go in his chat. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I still linked your channel though. So
thanks. But I'm watching. You could and I tell him, I'm like, I watch every one of your live streams, dude. I just don't want to look like one of those guys who's trying to pull people over to my channel. So and it's
Tug knows, man. Don't worry. Tug doesn't care, man. If there's one nice thing, at least for the news group over at the Comics Gate, we're a pretty mellow group. Myself,
yeah, you are.
Myself, Yellow Flash, and Tug. You know, you have to be, because you got to be able to deal with different human beings and all different walks of life. Try to get information they don't particularly want to give you, so you got to be kind of nice and polite.
You got it, exactly. Well, and then that's the thing is they are the nice side. They've been painted horribly wrong, and I will defend them to my dying day over that. So what? Yeah, it just when things started growing, you know, you got to kind of level up. That's the way I see things, and it wasn't fair to Dennis because I'm not his boss. He was here for fun. He was donating his time. The only compensation he got was all the streaming services, like Susan and Dennis have access to all my streaming services, which is it's like $300 a month in streaming services that were, and Doomcock he has access to one. But that's how I paid him basically. As far as like costs and everything, you know, until recently we weren't making any money. So you know, whatever we made just went back into the streaming services. So that's how they were being compensated. So but when things started leveling up, I'm deciding to like turn this into a business and get a license and all that. And we've already been trademarked for a while now. And yeah, so but Dennis didn't want me to be his boss, and I totally get that. I understand that. I respect that. But there was just a creative divide. And part of it is, if you're going to be on is my belief that if you're going to be on YouTube, you need to learn about YouTube. You need to learn how people act, because this is a different beast. People don't act on YouTube like they act on Facebook, like they act on Twitter. It's a whole different community that you have to kind of immerse yourself in. There it is there. If you don't immerse yourself in it, I don't think you could really, I would say that most YouTubers have immersed themselves in the community. Most good ones anyway. Some don't, but that was my only problem. So he didn't agree, and that's it.
There's nothing wrong with that, Gary. You know, Gary, I was taking a couple of months back when I was getting ready to retire from the military, and I contemplated this whole idea of me maybe doing something on YouTube. And as I did my research and started looking, I'm like, okay, this is going to take a lot more time and dedication. And just to be honest with you, I would probably do it I would honestly only be doing it for fun. And I'm kind of like, there's way too much time, dedication, and things I don't have time for. So I'm like, I'd rather just sit back, enjoy things like this, get to talk to you, Matt, Penn Farm, Doomcock, and all them, and just kind of sit back and be a spectator and a supporter.
Yeah, well, if you feel it, I mean, it's great fun. It really is. I mean, and I'm fortunate to where I can do it full time right now. I mean, it's just I set myself up to where I can do it. It was never intended. None of this was ever intended, ever. Like, it was always supposed to be kind of a hobby in the background. But
yeah, that's how I did it, and then.
Yeah, but if something happens, you got like
start,
you either piss or get off the, or what is it, piss or get off the pot, and it's like
pretty much.
I have to like, and Melissa thankfully is completely down with everything she's, and that's kind of what we did with the comic store. We're like, hey, this opportunity is sitting right in front of me right now. I can take advantage of it right now, or I could just put it off and hopefully this opportunity will happen again, which it probably won't. So I jumped on the opportunity right now, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to ride it out as long as we can and see what happens.
Yes.
And that's it. A lot of plans are changing right now over the last 2 weeks.
Bonus is the good group of friends around it that help you out along the way.
Well, having you guys, that's why I have faith in this. I have faith in this because we have a good community. Yeah. That's the last thing I'm worried about is our community. It's it's what do we talk about outside of Doctor Who, which I'm always going to do, by the way. So I'm not going to let that we'll pay the bills with the Doctor Who video, but that's only going to last for a certain amount of time. Once the New Year's special airs, guys, like people are going to stop caring. I think we'll see.
That or it could be like Star Wars, and it's still pissed off.
Could be. Well, I think a lot of people were afraid that, like I'll freely admit right now, I was pissed. I've been pissed for since they announced her. I've been fucking pissed, but I wasn't going to say anything because of worried about clapback. And then there's just a point where I don't care anymore. I don't care what kind of clapback I get. I'm just pissed. And
she's not a good actor anyway. I mean, like, honestly, I was just telling somebody the other day that Judi Dench is 84 years old and could have run rings around.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other Broadchurch girl, like the other Broadchurch girl,
she would have been better probably.
Sorry, I don't know her name, and I'm calling her a girl, lady. She probably would have. I could have been sold on it. I absolutely could have. But yeah, they brought in
the one who was David Tennant's partner.
Yes. Like,
okay.
I was thinking she kind of has that character actor gravitas. She has charisma too. Like she's been in Doctor Who. She was in the 11th Hour, and she played Patient Zero, and she was great. So yeah, but we're not going to find out now because we're going to get one more year of Jodie, and it's probably going to get canceled. So
I can't say I get pissy about the whole Doctor Who thing because whereas like that person who said that article you did where she's like she's been watching Doctor Who for a year and now she says she's a Whovian. I've been watching Doctor Who since about 6 years. I started with William Hartnell. I've gotten all the way up here, and I don't consider myself a Whovian because I'm not in love with the show. I like the show. Excuse me, I'm talking here. Oh, no, I'm not forgetting about you. That's one of the reasons I still love the show is because you watch it with me. Sorry, that was my daughter. She got mad at me because I started saying that. But no, I mean, I don't hate the show. I like the show, but I don't have the investment of love in it like I do with Star Wars or Star Trek. Why I get so pissed with what we've had going on in the last couple of years with those. I like the show. I think it's had really great episodes. For the most part, I got to be honest, I'd say most of them are average at best.
And I kind of feel the same way about like Star Wars is dead to me. I get the most entertainment I get from Star Wars is watching other people's videos. I have no intention of watching episode 9. I could care less. Star Wars is gone. I think Star Trek can actually be fixed, to be honest with you. I think they could turn it around.
There was an argument. There was a discussion we had on one of Doomcock's chats, and he was like, Star Wars or Star Trek be saved? I said Star Trek, yes. Star Wars, no. Yep. Star Trek is very complicated. It has a lot more layers that you can work with to make it see. Contrast Star Wars is super simple. And just for fun, I want to tell you this. I was flipping over on Twitter here, and Doomcock retweeted this thing with Rey handing Luke The Last Jedi DVD, and next thing is Luke tossing it. I was like, that's fucking awesome. But I think they can save. I think that we can save Star Trek. I believe Star Trek has a chance to be saved. Star Wars, no. Who care? Is anybody really going to care about a Mandalorian show? I find myself not caring. I don't care. I don't care about the Resistance. I don't care about another trilogy somewhere along the lines. I just don't.
Oh my God! If I hear that word resistance one more time, I'm gonna.
Oh God!
I know.
Oh, I watched some of that crap. God, it's painful.
It's bad.
And She-Ra. It's not like I want to do it, but just I want to make sure to be, absolutely accurate when I'm completely crapping on it and making fun of it during my show. And yes, it's accurate. She-Ra is horrifying. Resistance is god awful. It's not a lie. For those that are actually watching it actively to review the whole season, then make fun of it, it's dead on.
No, and then I got people arguing with me that I don't see any of the political aspects of She-Ra and Resistance. I'm all really you watched the same episode I did, but you didn't hear anything political at all once. I mean, forget the title.
Oh, the titles are
forget the title. Like, goddamn Dark Crystal. I was so pissed. I want to love that, and I probably will anyway. But
the Dark Crystal will be fine. Some of the people that are part of that are hopefully not going to politicize it, to my understanding.
I love the argument. They're going to say, She-Ra ain't for you. Well, apparently She-Ra's not for my 8-year-old daughter who y'all just met because she watched 2 episodes and said, this sucks.
Okay, just the word resistance. It's passive. Okay, it means like I'm kind of resistance means like somebody grabbed my arm and I'm kind of like shaking it for you to get your arm off. It's just not like it's not rebellion. It's not fucking insurrection or something like that. It's resistance. It means I'm kind of pushing back a little bit, but not very much. It's like it's just a dumb word. It's not bold enough, and it's also a fucking just a political, term right now. So, and it's used. I mean, like especially when you used it in something genre when Star Wars just used it. It lacks originality too. So, yeah,
I think it's a throwaway series that they did on purpose for whatever reason.
It sounds like Netflix named it. I don't
Kathleen
think
Kennedy probably had a huge part to do with it, and she knows the ratings are going to be terrible. It's 1 season, game over.
Well, I know that when things get super
Resistance, unlike Sabrina, which is going to be on until season 3.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know for a fact Lucasfilm and Star Wars came up with the name Star Wars Resistance. It was not Dave Filoni. That was a name they were given, that was presented to him.
Yeah.
They're like, we want to make Star Wars Resistance. That is the title. Here you go. So there you go. And probably the same thing happened with the people who funded Dark Crystal. Yeah. There you
Like
go.
I said, the title might be bad, but the people working in the background, to my knowledge, from other people that have worked with them in the past, they're not doing political stuff. It's a bunch of old schoolers that worked primarily in the 80s on those kind of films. Jim Henson's Creature Shop. So it's old schoolers a part of this. Now,
Yeah. One of Melissa's friends is working on it. One of Melissa's friends is working on it. Yeah.
So yeah, unless the people in charge act like dickheads and then change everything on us, it's like then I'll be worried. But we'll see. Hopefully they don't do that. I want it to be like it's supposed to be, because if not, no one's gonna watch. You're going after a specific group of people here. You need to make them happy.
Yeah, and we need people to watch this, because the creator Brian Henson made it no secret that if this does well, then I might think about Farscape. Now he might have been just trying to get the Farscape fans to watch, which was very clever. But
yeah, that is sneaky.
Hey, you said the word. You got my attention.
Yeah, exactly. he said that in his article. Viking Bitch pointed it out to me. He said as much as like Farscape's always been on the back of my mind. It's something I want to do, but right now, he didn't say this out loud, but he's like, I got a little stung by my movie experience. So now I'm thinking about it as a TV show again, and we'll see how The Dark Crystal does. I would love to see Farscape come back. I think it would be perfect on Amazon or Netflix or something like that. That would be amazing. Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know. Can you recreate that?
Probably not. But if you could recreate like 75% of it, and it's the original, well, yeah. If you do something like Cobra Kai, do a Cobra Kai, Ash versus Evil Dead season 1 or 2 kind of thing, then yeah, that's rare though. That usually doesn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the actors aren't really too busy.
No, they're not.
So that's one bonus. I believe they're all alive. That's the other bonus.
It hasn't been that long.
Rigel's the only one
yeah,
alive.
I know. I've actually talked with one of the actors and did.
Who's not alive?
Virtual beer with one of the actors on Twitter. So
the guy who voiced Rigel, he passed away several years ago.
Okay.
Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, that is sad. Who was it?
Hardy. I can't think of what his name is, but it was something Hardy.
Voice of Rigel. Yeah, Jonathan Hardy. Oh, poor Jonathan Hardy.
Yeah.
Born in New Zealand.
He was also in the Road Warrior, or no, Mad Max, the first one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the cops.
He was one of the cops.
Yes.
So that makes three.
Oh my God! Look at his
Farscape
eyebrows.
alums have been in different Mad Max movies, because Virginia Hay was in the Road Warrior, and then the person who played Granny was in Fury Road.
Hang on, I gotta show you this picture.
I don't think you're there yet, Gary. You haven't met Granny yet.
Nope. I got to put up a poll so you guys can pick what episode we want to watch for the watch party. Yeah, here we go. I gotta share you this picture because Jonathan Hardy's eyebrows are like something else, dude. Oh my fucking
amazing.
God.
Oh, they're their own animal. Yes.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you look at his eyes right there, he's heavy drinker. Extremely heavy drinker. You can just see it in his eyes. He's got like a jaundice kind of thing going on in his eyes. Little bloodshot going on there. Poor guy.
Don't see the bulbous nose, but
don't see the bulbous nose, but you can see in the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets the nose. Like the Bobby Valentine nose, the manager from the Mets.
Right.
Dude, that guy. Oh my God.
Boy.
Hang on.
Bobby.
Bobby fucking Valentine's got the reddest goddamn. I mean, that boy, he is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Hang on.
Yeah.
Show you. I was looking him up this morning because I was comparing Bobby Valentine to Akiva Goldsman. Akiva Goldsman's like the Bobby Valentine of writing.
God.
Look at that.
Bobby
Rudolph
Valentine.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah.
That's a separate story for a different time.
He does. Did you piss him off?
Throw baseball at my head at all.
Was this back in your like radio days or something, or like what the hell? Like, how'd you get Bobby Valentine to throw in? That's epic.
He was just a little upset. That's all. That's all.
Bobby Valentine.
Oh man, I had definitely a way with the coaches, to say the least.
Gotcha. So, oh, I lost the link last night.
Well, because
somebody
I was always a smart ass, so I was like, "Hey, can I get
really?
your autograph? Can I get?" And I'd also get the autograph of the reporters that were announcing the game. So Bobby was like, "Oh, you want my autograph?" And then he threw the ball at my freaking head.
Oh shit!
At my head after he tossed it to him.
That's terrible. I gotta find this article. Hang on, guys. Somebody sent it to me last night. I was almost gonna do a live stream to celebrate 15K, but we're gonna do it tomorrow. Oh, here it is. Somebody sent me this, and it's just like the lowest hanging fruit ever. It's every episode of Doctor Who Series 11 ranked from best to worst. So we're gonna go over that on a live stream. We're gonna rate each episode. Doesn't that sound fun?
Are you allowing negative numbers?
I am allowed. Yeah. Oh wait, let me guess. Number 1 is Rosa. Who wants to guess? It's Rosa. Yes, number 1 is Rosa, motherfuckers. Oh, God.
Because the Brits obviously know American culture.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the worst part is okay. Oh man, this is gonna sound bad, guys, but I'm sorry if I didn't make this story up. Okay, so Chris Chibnall wrote it, but they felt the need to put a co-writer on it, so they found a black woman who was English, who was the children's writer laureate or something. Like there's a poet laureate, and apparently in England there is a children's writer laureate. And she happened to be black, so they had her. And this, of course, this was one of my sources sent me the email. She, I'm not kidding, folks. She came up with the title of the episode.
No shit.
Nice.
And they gave her writing credit. The title of the episode is Rosa.
Nice.
I was like, what? Oh my God.
So yeah, if you ever want to throw off sportscasters before they go live, just ask them for their autograph, and they'll be like, "You want my autograph? Are you sure?" And I've done that to several.
Was he just about to go live?
Like Joe Buck. Joe Buck, I got him when he was down for batting practice.
That's awesome. The only sportscaster I met.
I learned that trick from a mentor of mine. He says, if you ever want to throw them off their game, for that particular game, just ask them for their autograph. They'll completely be shocked and be confused the rest of the day, almost
awesome.
Thinking that in the back of their head because they never get asked for their autographs.
That's brilliant.
Gary, you're more in tune with Gary, you're more in tune with TV stuff when stuff goes on the air and off the air, and those length of times that hurt something. So riddle me this one. We have that Star Wars Resistance show. It had started in October. It's pretty much gone week. Get to the 11th episode on the 9th. There's 2 more episodes, and they're not going to show them until over a month later.
Oh, that means they had animation problems. It means that something they did something happened with the last 2 episodes as far as the animation didn't come in right, or there's dropped frames or something. They would not do that unless there was a production problem. Unless they just don't. Well, I might back up on that. They've been releasing it like at 10 o'clock at night, right?
Which makes weird sense for a show that's.
That means they just don't give a shit. This is for streaming. So. But oh my God! Did Into the Spider-Verse, which I love, by the way. So many drop frames in that thing. It was dropping frames everywhere, and dropping frames means you can see the characters skip, like they literally freeze, and then they're in the next position. That has I watched.
I thought that was just the animation style.
No, well, dude, no, there was vectoring in their skin. Their skin. I mean, this is gonna sound bad again. Their skin looked like the cover of football because there was all these little dots in everybody's skins, and there was lines everywhere, and. Yeah, that's bad.
I thought they did that to pay homage to the way they used to color comics.
Like Zipatone? No. Well, Zipatone would have looked like Zipatone then. I mean, they did a lot of that. I mean, they did. There was so much they did that was right. believe me. Here we go. Star Wars Resistance. There's no Star Wars Resistance ratings.
No.
4.7 on IMDb and like
No. I mean like viewer ratings, like overnights.
Oh,
Probably not.
How can that? Well, it's airing on a network. It's got to have ratings.
It should, but Disney.
That I'll tell you something.
Yeah. Whoa. They can withhold ratings.
Told you.
Well, I'm seeing them on. Well, I didn't. This is taken from the sources. Wikipedia's got ratings on it right now.
Does it? Okay, let's.
Yeah, it's got the episode 1 and 2 at 0.33.
Well, where in the
It
hell
goes
is it getting it from?
0.47. It's pretty much. I'm not going through all of it. It's about consistent at about a 3.940 with one ad liar being a 0.54.
That's pretty fucking good. That's a yeah.
So
So
consistent.
it's beating the shit out of Doctor Who.
At 0.55. I mean,
All of it is every single one. Jodie's first episode did not even relate to an also ran episode of this. Yeah, people love their Star Wars, man. So
Yes.
0.3 is like for cable at 10 o'clock at night. That's incredible. That's 2-3 million people watching.
Yeah, it's on the wiki.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, it's on.
Where is the
yeah.
wiki getting it? I have been trying everywhere to find TV ratings other than the one site I know, and they're impossible to find. Maybe there's like some subscription place.
I guess TV series. For
Show
now.
Buzz Daily.
Showbuzz. God dang.
Show Buzz Daily.
TV
what
series
that's what the
finale
little-
is the best one I've gone to, but Showbuzz
Yeah,
Daily.
That's what I use when sourcing for when I'm going to
Yeah.
bitch somebody.
Exactly, and TV series finale has no ratings for Star Wars Resistance. That's funny, and you made a great point. It's fucking
That's
Disney.
odd. Yeah. That is a little odd.
Wow, look at that. Who Showbiz Daily. All right. Let's see if I can search it. So I was looking for Doctor Who American ratings in the past, and those are impossible to find.
Oh, that's true.
I had a fun one. I was looking.
I'm sure
for
some forum has it, but it's a lot of forums.
That would require me to look.
Yeah, actually, look. Yeah.
So I thought this was funny. I was looking something up just for total different reasons. So they've been trying to make a big deal about how successful the Connors is without Roseanne on it, and I said, okay, let me look into this. Okay, back at the peak of Roseanne in the 90s, mind you, we're getting about 38 million. At the tail end, last season got 18 million on average. The new season got down to 10 million by the season final. Connors opened less than the season final of Roseanne and has steadily lost 4 plus 5 million. I was like, yeah, okay, how much shit can you spin?
So it still has like 10 million, but like it lost half its. Oh, there's that fucking disturbing siren. God damn, I hate that. It's our air raid siren. It goes off noon to every Tuesday. So yeah, they were at 18 million, then they dropped to 10. 10 still phenomenal, but it's phenomenal. It's when you lost half your viewers, it's not that phenomenal. I've been arguing with Doctor Who fans about that for the last 3 weeks. They're like, it's still getting good ratings. I'm like, it dropped 50%. It dropped. So
That's not good when that happens.
they have to sell to advertisers. So your advertisers are going to go, because what they're going to do is sell you on the average viewers. And then your advertisers are going to go, okay, let me look at I'm going to get a piece of paper. Let's see your average here. Okay. Well, shit. Everybody was watching at first, but nobody's watching towards the end. So that's not really an accurate average. What we really want to talk about is the 50%. So what the advertiser will do is I'll pay you on the average of like the last 3 episodes, we were not counting that first one where everybody was curious and then dipped out.
Oh, yeah, because that's why everybody watched that one.
Yeah, so that's why it matters.
They're at about a 6.6. Yeah, about 6.68 on average right now.
Yeah.
This is just me glancing at it without me trying to compare it, but
Well,
I'm pretty good with numbers, so it's about a 6.8, which I guess is good.
Yeah, the Connors is going to stay around. It's just it's dumb. I don't know. I mean, I liked Roseanne. I liked the Roseanne show. That was like one of the few sitcoms I watched when I usually don't like them.
And the sad part was, this is the one show I have to say for the spinoff, the way they did it. I was just like, I wanted to watch it. I wanted to, but I just felt like it's a betrayal of my love of the original series if I continue to watch it. And it's sad because I loved all the old characters. But here's the thing. When I was watching the new Roseanne, I didn't give a flying F about any of the new characters. None of them. I couldn't have cared less. I was only interested in seeing the old characters. Without Roseanne, I can't watch this. It just doesn't feel right. It's like I'm cheating on somebody. Not like, with my current wife, not my ex-wife. That's a whole nother game.
Okay.
By the way,
that was my team, Mike.
who sounded all muffled there? Jason, is that you?
Do I come through all right?
You're coming through muffled, very muffled.
Really? Okay, hold on.
Andre, I see you're in there. Can you not talk? What about OG? I see. Is that OG Spock Love? What's up? I'm not hearing anything. Andre muted. It's okay.
How about now, Mark?
Hey, OG Spock Love. How's it going? And Matthew. I'm going to just call you Matthew because I forgot your T. So now you're just Matthew.
She's at work, it seems.
She's at work? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I got to wrap up here pretty quick anyway, but it's been kind of fun. We should do these just as hangouts more. I like this. This is more fun.
Yep, always fun.
Always fun. Yeah, dude. And DJ D Show, I'm glad you go live every morning. I'm like, because Anti-Tricker doesn't go live every morning, so I can always count on you to be on in the gym.
Yes.
So
I worked out a deal with Collider. They're like, okay, you can have that spot. I know that's their old spot. That's why. So, slowly but surely.
Hey, the best compliment I have gotten in a long time was somebody, I forgot who it was in Doomcock chat, and just goes, I owe you an apology. I'm all, no, you don't. Why do you owe me apologies? Well, I thought you guys were some kind of Doctor Who, Star Trek Discovery loving Collider type channel. I'm like, where the hell did you get that impression?
No, I first thought Nerdrotic Channel was a porn channel hosted by a hot, sexy blonde female.
Yeah,
that's what I thought at first.
Sorry for the disappointment there. If you kind of look, I mean, what the person later told me is all my thumbnails look like it's just kind of a normal review channel. I'm like, oh no, maybe that's why people get kind of mad. So I don't know, but I thought that was a great compliment that he thought I was one thing and ended up not, because I don't want to be like Collider at all. So.
Yeah, with a channel name like you have, I would think they would have got that impression, but oh well.
You think so?
You'd think, right? I guess they couldn't figure that one out. I guess it took them a second.
No.
That is true, Farm Girl. That is very true.
Or we could just say it like how Andy Tricker pronounced. Well, he was calling us Nerdonic for Nerdonic for a long time. It was pretty funny. I got to get that fucker on the channel. I like that guy, man.
Okay, hey, can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes. It's a little better.
All right. Good. All right,
Jason.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I came on pretty much, and like you said, in reaction to Doctor Who. It's so bad this year. My wife, I mean, when she saw the Rosa Parks episode, we turned it off halfway through. We didn't even watch the ending. And we have not seen a single episode since. I mean, we basically just get our information about it from you. So, by the way, I just upgraded to the $15 tier because
thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm not trying to sell anybody on that.
No. I DM'd you. By the way,
you DM so you can add me.
Thanks.
Yeah, I DM'd you and. By the way, I know you said mystery and whatnot. Just between you and me, I'm a Star Trek Doctor Who fan, so
gotcha.
Just putting that out there.
Well, I think Doctor Who fans will be kind of happy. The last round, I still have some of my original Star Wars figures I was passing out. So the last people got like OG fucking Star Wars figures.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
I still have some of those left. I've got some Daleks ready to go out. Yeah. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, you'll be happy. I'll say that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad.
But that, yeah. So the roast episode. I'm gonna have to do a video on that. Yeah, because that was. I was actually talking to a viewer who said he was deeply offended by the Rosa episode. He may or may not have been African American. I don't want to, but he said he was deeply offended by that episode. I'm like, and just I kind of want to get him on the show. Just let him say it, because if I say it, it'll just sound bad.
I can technically say it.
There you go.
Yes, I was also offended by how much they dumbed things down. That
Yep.
would be the offensive part of it. I'm sure he would probably said something similar.
Yeah,
God.
it was done in such. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit personal for me because I grew up in Massachusetts, but I moved to the South when I was 16. And whereas you do see that, I've heard all the stories, like I know about, well, they misrepresented parts. She was not in any way the first woman to do that. But she was the poster child because she was the most sympathetic. And, to pin that the entire civil rights movement hinged upon this one woman was completely just disrespectful to everybody else that was involved. It was just a ridiculous premise. Not to mention that the bus driver had a sidearm. Like, he was carrying a handgun on his hip, and he pointed at an old lady on the bus. Like, just as it was just a matter of course, like.
Yep.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I'm sure Martin Luther King had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Not at
Right.
all. Mm-hmm.
They just happen to know each other. It was completely.
Yeah. They definitely skewed things.
As is history. Yes. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they just should have stayed the fuck away from that. It's like, the partition of India. Okay, fine. I'll give you that one. I mean, it's not anything really fun. Yay. But yeah. What's next?
Well, they touched upon it like even back in the Tennant years. With when he was running from the family and he goes back to 1910 to become a professor, and they have Martha there and she's washing the floors because that's the only job she can get in that time. And the guy's like races to her and she's like, and, they touch upon it. They make sure that that this is terrible and wrong. But then they move on, and they kept it fun, and it's just not.
There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, I mean, that's part of the time traveling job. That's the dumbest thing about it. Like when the doctor says, "Oh, if I was a bloke," I'm like, "Listen, I just heard Peter Capaldi say the season before that gender is a construct and it's meaningless to the Time Lord. It's meaningless, meaning like I don't really notice if I'm a man or a woman. I don't ever notice it. So if you notice it, and then you went to the 1500s where the doctor has been before, by the way, many times, the doctor is aware of how things are back then. So the doctor could be against it, but it's not really going to help anything. You're not going to actually go back in time and change it. And you're trying to get a mission done, and you're going to stop and bitch for a second, really, and whine. That's the whole thing that takes you out of it. And the only point of the line was to the virtue signal, the same way with the stupid Supergirl line, which was like, what does that got to do with Elseworlds? Like a wage gap? Yeah, okay, sure, wage gap, great, okay. Lois Lane is getting paid less than Clark Kent. Are you fucking kidding me? If we want to actually break that down, that's not true in any way. So, I don't know. See, that's my geek. I'm going to break down the wage gap within the DC universe. I will. I'll roll with that. Because actually, many times they've mentioned that Lois makes more than Clark Kent. So, she makes a lot of money.
She's
their number one reporter.
Thing
their star reporter before he even showed up.
I ignore things when they're beyond stupid, so I try to enjoy the rest of it.
I try to. I really do. I couldn't do it anymore. It's like, well, I mean, honestly, that stuff has always been in the CW shows, but it's never been bad. It's always been
Yeah.
like once or twice, and like whatever. I don't care.
Oh God, Supergirl's
Yeah.
been bad this year. Supergirl,
Supergirl is terrible.
that's
was
its own
terrible.
animal. It's so sad. It's so sad. And the only time we kind of got, at least the previous season, Supergirl was in the crossover event. Prior to that, it's just been politics, more politics.
I
And
like
it-
the
There's
crossover.
no
event.
need for it, but oh well.
I thought Elseworlds was pretty cool. I enjoyed some of it. I did. I really did. I like just the superhero action. I thought it was fun.
I dropped everything else except for Legion of Tomorrow because I wanted until I saw what they were doing to White Canary, and I'm like, this is just disgusting.
Oh.
I can't stand it.
Unwatchable. And what
I
they
like,
loved it
why-
myself.
They turned her from a badass character who had a reasonable, not reasonable, but had a chance of being a leader because I honestly believe she could do it, and they turned her into a slut for a few episodes, and I'm like, this is just. I wonder if these people, when they do these characters nowadays, are not like people in the old days or back then when they were like, you know what, you do a character long, it's like you talk to the writer and say, no, this is not what my character would do. I'm not doing this. It's not what my character would do. We're gonna go blows about it.
Well, it's the showrunner. If you've ever seen how he's talked to people in general, you can see him doing that. He'll just do
Yeah.
that. He did it in Arrow. He's obviously done it in Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, he's
used
gonna
to be
do
a
it once in a
cool
while because he
character.
just feels like it.
She used to be a really cool character, a complex, like flawed, awesome character, and she's a caricature. She's not a character anymore. She's a caricature, and that's what all the characters are. It's a
Can you
bummer.
explain that to me, Gary? I'm not familiar with the
So a
character.
caricature, when you become a caricature of yourself, meaning you're trying to imitate what you used to be.
Okay.
So when something runs on too long, instead of actually being the character, it would be like, say Harrison Ford played Indiana Jones for 25 years, and it just got so long in the tooth that he would just start acting like he thinks Indiana Jones would act like in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he can't do it anymore. So it becomes a caricature. It's bad.
Yes,
That's what everything has become in this CW. So
yeah, it's kind of
So,
when a voice actor's drunk and it goes from Yoda, or they're tired. It could be they're tired, and it goes from Yoda to Glomer from Punky Brewster, and that's what happens. They're just like, Scott, I'm committed to what I'm doing it on the show. It's like I'm going to go from what you expect me to sound as Yoda to Glomer from Punky Brewster. Enjoy. Because you basically just throw in you're like, screw it, I can't handle it anymore. I haven't got time for that. I'm not going to go that extra mile and give you the performance you deserve. No, I'm just going to wing it. And that's also why they bitched about Peter Dinklage. God, was that the Halo game where he got hell for it? If I remember right, where he just half-assed it his voice acting.
nailed it in.
Yeah, nailed it.
You can help mommy do it when she gets home.
Peter.
Hey, Gary, I got a question for you, and this is one for you. So we pretty much know for certain that Jessica Jones and Punisher are canceled. They are almost definitely canceled. That's pretty much a given. So why wouldn't Netflix just come out and say, "Hey, this is our final season," and call it a day?
It's because they are in full on competition with Disney, and they're trying to do maximum damage. They also, the word on the street is they feel like Disney sold them a bunch of shit. Like they were not happy with what they were given. ABC Studios produced it. Netflix funded this, but they had no say in production. So what Jeff Loeb presented them, they were not happy with. So whatever damage they can do to this, and right now they're swimming in money, so they can take the hit. They can take the hit with no trouble at all. And we will not. Charlie Cox is probably done as Daredevil unless he waits 2 years. But they cannot do anything with those characters for 2 full years. That's a long time. So no Daredevil for 2 years. Which means 3 years because they can't start production for 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be a while.
So I don't even know. I'll probably
Well,
watch Punisher.
Deadline did a story that supposedly Netflix, it was them that wanted to cancel everything they've canceled so far. That Disney didn't influence it at all. So yeah, typical political spin action as always.
Netflix doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. But I don't know if I entirely believe that because it benefits Disney. It really does for them to cancel. I mean, it's just wait it out. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna jet everybody, but we could do this again soon. I kind of like the hangout thing. This is way
It
better
was fun.
than regular
Yeah,
news.
that's good.
So
It was fun.
yeah,
Definitely.
I'll see you guys. I'll be back on the regular channel tomorrow morning. Dr. Christopher Garcia video is coming tomorrow night. Too busy today, and yeah, we'll do it all again Wednesday. So keep an eye out on things, and I'll put up that poll today for the Christmas special in Farscape one. So
Yes.
and what's
Awesome.
Truth Apocalypse? How's it going? I just saw Truth Apocalypse in there. All right, everybody. I hope you had a good time. It was fun.
Yep, it was fun.
All right, thanks, guys, thanks, and gals. OG Spock Club. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you. Maybe next time. And Andre, you take care. Keep entertaining me in the morning. Dance Monkey Dance. And Truth Apocalypse is in there. What's up? Jason, Jess, Matthew. Thank you, guys. I will be sending
Take care, Gary.
soon. Okay.
Take care, Gary.
Okay, bye.
See you later, Matt.